Unity of Houston is an inclusive church where we seek to understand and live the teachings of Jesus and other spiritual masters. At Unity, we welcome all people from all spiritual paths and every walk of life. We celebrate the diversity of our city and of our world, and we teach love, tolerance, and oneness, seeking to live in harmony with open minds and open hearts.
Wherever you are in your spiritual path, you are always welcome at Unity. Join us and discover that the life of your dreams is already within you.
It's so good to be with you. And today, I just wanted to kind of give us maybe a little orientation, maybe like a place to plant your oar so that you can shift and turn where you want to be. It's the last Sunday of September, so we're moving into the fall. We can already feel it, even though it was 95 degrees yesterday. But underneath it, somewhere, we can feel the fall is happening. And so with that affirmation, I just want to say that what it is that we are knowing is that things are changing and that there are things for us to do. And I just want to kind of revisit a little bit where we've been. You know, we're slowly now drifting out of the global pandemic. It's not over. We're told it'll be with us. I was just rifling through my purse, and I keep tangling up the mask I keep in there whenever I might need one. I don't wear one so often, but I'm careful, and I'm also cautious when others around me do. And it's important to recognize that this is just something that we're going to be living with. But we're also living with droughts in our waterways, drying up our water supplies in certain parts of the country, melting ice in our oceans that are making habitat for polar bears and for other animals more difficult, possibly facing extinction even in so many parts of the world. We have wildfires that are taking thousands of miles out. Fires. It's like the whole world is on fire at times, and what's not on fire is flooding. It seems to me like there are so many shifting and changes. We've seen a hurricane hit the east coast of Canada, a Category 4. All this means is that things are shifting and changing. And actually, we kind of know that because our own lives are starting to feel that way. And as we drift out of the pandemic, we know we really can't reclaim what we used to do. We're bringing some new habits with us, aren't we? But we're also confused and sometimes not only disturbed, but maybe even a little angry. Sophia Nelson, a journalist and author, she says, "We're not okay, even as COVID wanes. Mental health issues and depression, anger, losses, and feeling moorless, feeling lost, feeling kind of uncertain, kind of without bearings, losing our bearings." She suggests that we do what I suggested to the kids, which is take the outside understanding and bring it to the interior and ask the deep part of yourself, what do I want? What do I need? And how am I feeling? What do I want? What do I need? How am I feeling? I mean, start with you. Start with you. What do I want? What do I need? How am I feeling? Ask yourself those questions 3 times in a row, and you will find yourself going deeper and deeper. You'll get real. You'll get clearer. You'll begin to hear the still small voice because you know the answers to those questions. For now, at this stage, and only you can address it. She says, once you have that, take care of yourself and give yourself time and care and fun. You know, the lessons from the pandemic are not just about isolation and distance. We've really learned how far 6 feet is, you know. We've learned, all the different ways we can wear a mask. And it's interesting that some of the things that we have actually learned have happened in isolation, where we've had to discover some new, not only just some new habits that we formed, some new ways of being, but some new ways of caring for ourselves and finding a way to kind of allow ourselves to be nurtured in our own lives, going for longer walks, being out in nature, getting up and watching the sun rise, perhaps making sure you see the sun set in the evening. Perhaps there are some other practices. Maybe you're baking bread like Reverend Michael is baking bread. There's some new habits that you have adopted, and you are still taking them and fitting them into maybe a life that's picking up pace, perhaps. But even if it isn't, just know that there's some things that you are not ever going to go back to, that you are headed in this direction and bringing with you the things that will help nurture you and give you fun. Surround yourself with counsel, wise counsel, and healthy people who love you. If you haven't already, start putting it out there. Go on Facebook and say, who loves me and is really smart, Just start asking around, or just see what kind of memes they're posting. That might be a place to start, I don't know. But knowing that this is your time to cultivate, kind of maybe let go of some of the people in your life that really pull you down, that really can't support you, that aren't able to give you what it is that you really need. It's a good time to reevaluate who are your companions on this next leg of the journey. Listen to these 2 sentences. Our actions entrench the power of the light on this planet. First sentence. Our actions entrench the power of the light on this planet. What we do holds, brings power and light. Every positive thought we pass between us makes room for more light. Every positive thought that we pass between us brings more light. What if that was your practice, your reality, your mantra? Knowing that you are generating that idea. Where did those 2 sentences come from? Not from our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, not from a New Thought writer, but rather from a member of the United States House of Representatives, the Honorable John Lewis, who understood the power that we carried within us, the light that we are, and the ways in which only thing that matters is how we treat each other, how we are with one another, what we do. It's hard to imagine that he served in that capacity for over 40 years, that we were so blessed and lucky to have him in leadership in this country, carrying that consciousness and that model. Another visionary I want to bring before you is Mary Oliver. And yes, that's where the Call of Wild Geese, that title of my talk today, comes from. One of her most famous or most familiar poems. She says, "You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine." Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains, and all the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. This is the time of year they do that. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination every moment. It calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, honking their way home, waking you up, making you stir and stop and look up in the sky. What is that sound? Over and over, announcing your place, she says, in the family of things. What is that call really, though? What is that call? It's the call of your soul. Your soul is spread out across the face of the earth. It's non-local. It's not tied up in your body. It's not bound up inside of you, waiting to be let out when you breathe your last breath. It's out there beyond you, connecting with other souls and connecting with other possibilities and reaching out. It's calling to you to be all you were created to be. You ever heard the call of the soul? Harsh, loud, wild, exciting, makes your heart thump. I can almost hear geese honking in the distance now. That idea, I could do that. I could be that. I want to try that. I want to go learn about that. I want to do that. I've heard that at least twice in my life. The first time was driving on my way to church here, and I've told this story many times, pregnant with my second daughter and looking out the window and telling William, you know, I could do what Howard does. I could talk, I could teach, I could counsel people. I didn't really know what he did. I only saw him on Sundays, like you, sitting in the seats, right? I heard him. But all of his words had already gotten inside of me, and I was living that with the help of a lot of other programs that I was involved in at the time. And I was not reading a Unity book, and I didn't take a class yet, and I wasn't even a member. But I'm already entertaining the thought that I could very, without any evidence whatsoever, of being able to do what Howard does. But obviously it wasn't what Howard does, it was what Karen would do. In teaching what I can teach and counsel and be. I didn't know that, but there was the sound of distant, honking wild geese. My heart was thumping. I didn't know what I needed to know because I didn't know what I would need to know. But what I really needed to know wasn't the knowledge itself, but what it would be used for. And with that, everything else comes. You do everything else when you know where you're headed, when you know what you're doing, when you know what's calling you, and you listen for the wild geese. Here's what you can focus your life upon: the call of your deep soul in the quiet. Let your life unfold. If you don't know what steps to take, wait. Wait. You will not be left by the side of the road. You'll be called forth. The things will start knocking at your door or fall at your feet or show up in your inbox or in your mail or in any myriad places that you travel, because Your life matters, and your unfoldment, the whole world is waiting upon. Learn what you can, and forgive yourself. Oh my gosh, please forgive yourself. You're the only one holding yourself back. We aren't. You are. We need you unfolding. Forgive yourself, because it isn't until you forgive yourself that you can truly forgive others. And I'll tell you, no matter what words you've already spoken, if you can't forgive yourself yet, you haven't fully forgiven yet either. Because it's the same thing, same muscle. And this will be the strongest tool you will have in your life. The ability to forgive and to let go and to find peace. Get away from the noise of the world and the voice in your head and fall into the silence. That swelling of the concentration of presence, silence. It's not no sound. It's not no noises. It is actually a palpable sense of something big and full and pressing on you. Silence. Full and specific to you. Immerse yourself in the outdoors every day. There's beauty, peace, order, intelligence, benevolence, and healing there. Yeah, I'll list them again. There are beauty, peace, order, intelligence, benevolence, and healing there. It's not just a place to exercise or a place to do yard work or garden, as beautiful and wonderful as those things are, and do those too. But don't think of them only as your personal gym. Think of it instead as a holy place you walk, a holy place where you start taking your part, as Mary says, in the family of things. And answer the call of your own wild soul, the timeless, wild essence of who you truly are, who you've always been, and the pattern of who you're becoming. What do I want? What do I need? How am I feeling? Check in with yourself periodically. This isn't a one-time thing. Practice it right now with me. Just put your fingers on your chest. What do I want? What do I need? Feel it in your hands. What do I need? How am I feeling? How am I feeling? Ask yourself this and take the steps you learn. Take the steps you know. Get it for yourself. Ask for it from others, wherever you need to go to answer this, because no one else is going to bring it to you unless you ask, unless you show what it is that you need. And so the second time I heard the wild geese is now. For me, I'm hearing that call again. Another adventure awaits for me. Retirement from full-time work. Somebody asked me, how does a minister retire? How are you, do you hang up the reverend? Do you put that away somewhere? And I was like, oh, yeah, that doesn't work like that. I'm a reverend, I'm a minister at HEB, I'm a minister wherever I am. I have known that for a very long time, even before I was ordained. I knew that's my essence. I have always been that. And I have evidence, things that have made me feel that way. And I can't unfeel this anymore. I can't not be me. But how I spend my time, now that's different. And how I spend my time, I'm going to be discovering new things to learn and grow. But I will be following the call of my soul, because the geese tell me that there is more for me to learn. Try, do. I don't know what it is. Frederick Buechner says, listen to your life. Touch, taste, smell your way to the holy and hidden heart of it. Because in the last analysis, all moments are key moments. And life itself is grace. What if we lived like that? Listening to our lives, touch, taste, smell your way to the holy and hidden heart of it. Because all moments are key moments. And life itself is grace. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, Mary says. Calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things, your next episode, your next adventure, your next unfolding. And meanwhile, she says, the wild geese high in the clean blue air. Why? They're heading home again because they know. And so should you. Let's pray. And so as you breathe into your soft animal body and let it love what it loves, forgiving yourself or whatever, allowing yourself to simply breathe and be, knowing that you are not only enough, you are amazing. And there is more to be unfolded, more to bring, more to be, more to learn, more to forgive, more to let go. And above all, more to love. And so we open ourselves now to that love and to the peace that passes all understanding and to the vastness that is each and every soul. And so it is. Amen. You know Reverend Michael loves you, and you know I love you too. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of my life, this long journey. You matter to me. Many blessings.
Thank you for watching this message today. I'd like to invite you to join us in person here on campus at Unity of Houston for Sunday morning or Wednesday evening services. If you can't be with us here on our campus, you can still join us live on Facebook or on our website, unityhouston.org, Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Central.